afternoon, dear viewers. It's exactly 3 p.m. Cairo local time. You tuned into Channel 2. Now it's time for the English News Bulletin. This is Reem Tamer, and I'm delighted to be along with my very dear colleague, Lubna Yahya. Hello, Lubna.
Hello, Reem. Hello, everyone. And we're going to start right away with the headlines. More than 30 killed in Israeli occupation strikes across Gaza. Syria delegation in Riyadh for first foreign visit post-Assad's departure. And Egypt condemns U.S. ramming incident and offers condolences to families of victims.
Welcome back. The news in full. Palestinian medical sources said today that a dawn airstrike by the Israeli occupation forces killed at least 38 people. 10 Palestinians were martyred in an Israeli occupation massacre targeting a refugee camp sheltering displaced families in southern Gaza Strip. In a separate incident, the Palestinian Interior Ministry condemned the killing of the 2 police officers in an Israeli occupation airstrike in Al-Mawasi region, western Khan Yunis, that also left 12 Palestinians martyred. Earlier, the Israeli Occupation Authority has warned that it will intensify its already deadly strikes in Gaza if Hamas keeps up its rocket fire, as Palestinian rescuers reported dozens of deaths from occupation strikes on the first day of the new year.
The International Committee of the Red Cross has said that the healthcare system in northern Gaza had been obliterated by heavy bombardment by the Israeli occupation forces, with hospitals rendered completely inoperable.
The Israeli occupation forces announced the death of 891 soldiers and the wounding of 5,569 since the 7th of October 2023. The occupation army also announced that 28 Israelis committed suicide, including 16 of backup soldiers, in the highest record in 13 years.
Syrian state media said today that an expanded security operation was launched on Homs city, reportedly targeting 2 districts that are home to the Alawite minority of ex-Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. Syrian state news agency SANA quoted a security official as saying that the targets were what he termed as war criminals and those involved in crimes who refused to hand over their weapons and go to the settlement centers, but also hidden ammunition and weapons. A curfew was also slapped in parts of the city.
A Syrian delegation led by Foreign Minister Asad Hassan al-Shibani arrived in Saudi Arabia, responding to an invitation by Saudi Arabian Foreign Minister. The Syrian Foreign Minister said he hoped to open a new bright page upon arriving in the kingdom, the first foreign visit for Syria's new leadership. He added that he arrived in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia accompanied by the Syrian Minister of Defense, Murhaf Abu Qasra, and the head of the General Intelligence Service to boost bilateral ties.
The U.S. military said its forces had hit Houthi targets in Yemen's capital that the group used to attack American warships and commercial vessels. It also said the U.S. Navy and Air Force aircraft had destroyed 7 cruise missiles and one-way attack UAVs over the Red Sea, using an acronym for unmanned aerial drones. The Houthi group said earlier that it had fired 2 missiles at Israel hours after the Israeli occupation forces claimed it had intercepted a projectile launched from Yemen. The Houthi group has said that it fired missiles and drones at Israel and at ships in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden in solidarity with Palestinians during the Israeli occupation genocide war on Gaza.
Egypt condemned today a ramming incident in New Orleans, the United States. The Foreign Ministry statement expressed Egypt's complete solidarity with the United States and expressed sincere condolences to the families of the victims. Egypt also renewed its absolute rejection for all sorts of violence that target the security and safety of civilians.
The New York Police Department said in a news briefing early today that 10 people were injured in a mass shooting in the New York City borough of Queens late on New Year's Day. The incident occurred when 3-4 males opened fire toward a crowd outside a private event club, with the police ruling out the possibility of a terrorist attack. The incident came hours after 2 other acts of violence elsewhere in the United States on New Year's Day. And in New Orleans, a truck plowed into a street crowded with New Year's revelers, killing 15 people. And in Las Vegas, a Tesla truck exploded outside a Trump hotel in Las Vegas, killing 1 person and injuring other 7.
Russia said today it had attacked energy facilities in Ukraine that support Kiev's military-industrial complex. The Russian Defense Ministry said that over the last 24 hours, it had used its air force, drones, missiles, and artillery to target energy facilities, military airfields, and Ukrainian military personnel across multiple locations. Russia regularly reports such strikes, describing recent ones as retaliation for Kiev's use of Western-supplied missiles to strike deep into Russian territory separately. The Ukrainian Air Force said it shot down 47 Russian drones overnight, adding that of 72 drones launched, 24 imitator drones had not reached their targets.
Impeached South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol remained defiantly inside his residence, resisting arrest for a 3rd day today, after vowing to fight authorities seeking to question him over his failed martial law bid. The South Korean leader issued the declaration on December 3rd that led to his impeachment and has left him facing arrest, imprisonment, or at worst, the death penalty. The turmoil deepened late last week when his replacement, Han Dok-soo, was also impeached by Parliament for failing to sign bills for investigations into his predecessor. The country's finance minister has been installed as acting president and pledged to do all he can to end the political upheaval.
Montenegro began 3 days of national mourning today after a gunman went on a rampage after opening fire at a village restaurant, killing 12 people, including 2 children. Police said the 2 killed children were aged 10 and 13, adding that 4 people were also seriously injured and transported to a hospital. Police said the attacker has killed himself while surrounded by police. The incident is the 2nd shooting in 3 years in the same town. Copenhagen is about to get a Banksy buzz as a tribute to the elusive graffiti legend lands at Art Maze this spring.
And the mystery of Banksy, a genius mind, is yet to be explored through street artistry. The details.
Fans of the world's most famous street artist Banksy can mark their calendars for May 16th, when the exhibition The Mystery of Banksy, a Genius Mind, kicks off at the Art Maze on Mاسبيرو. The venue, an absolutely buzzing creative hub that opened just last year in Copenhagen, is set to host what organizers promise will be an unmissable experience for all street art fans. While the exhibition celebrates Banksy's iconic artistry, it takes a creative twist rather than uprooting the original street masterpieces, which remain an integral part of their urban settings. This showcase brings expertly crafted replicas to life. Though Banksy himself isn't officially involved, the exhibition stays true to his rebellious spirit, offering an immersive experience that captures the essence of his most famous works, all under one roof. Since debuting in Munich in 2021, the Banksy tribute has drawn a staggering 2.5 million visitors across multiple cities. Now Denmark gets its turn to dive into the archaic, though provoking world of the Bristol-born international man of mystery. Over 150 meticulous replicas will be on display in this spring exhibition, along with cutting-edge photography and video installations. Tickets for the Copenhagen event are already on sale, giving visitors the chance to explore Banksy's artistry without needing to chase it through the back streets of Bristol or Berlin.
world of business and finance, Egypt's bourse began 2025 in green amid purchases by Arab investors against sell-offs by local and foreign investors and Arab corporations. The market capital of listed companies reached £2.189 trillion amid overall transactions of £650 million. The benchmark index EGX 30 rose 0.72%. The equal weighted indices EGX 70 and EGX 100 climbed 1% and 1.2% respectively.
The United Kingdom said today that British house prices surged again in December as the property market upswing continued, surprising economists who had expected to see a slowdown in price growth. A survey showed house prices jumping by 0.7% in monthly terms during December, following a 1.2% increase in November. The survey fits with a slew of stronger than expected housing market data, contrasting with other indicators that point to weakening activity across the wider economy.
Oil prices nudged higher at the start of 2025 as the market sentiment turned positive on expectations of stronger economic growth and an increase on oil demand. Brent crude futures up 0.25% to $74.83 a barrel. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude gained 0.28% to $71.92. And spot gold also traded 0.34% higher at $2,632 an ounce. The yellow metal had a banner year in 2024, surging more than 27% in its largest annual gain since 2010.
Moving to the exciting world of sports, the Italian Super Cup hosted by Saudi Arabia gets underway tonight with giants Inter Milan, AC Milan, Juventus and Atalanta preparing to battle it out for the silverware. The four-team knockout tournament will start tonight with the Serie A champions Inter Milan will play the first semi-final against the Italian Cup runner-up Atalanta. AC Milan, who finished second in Serie A last season, will clash with Juventus, the Italian Cup winners, in the second semi-final tomorrow. The final will take place on Sunday, January the 6th. It will be the fifth time that Saudi Arabia has hosted the Italian Super Cup.
Arsenal closed the gap on Premier League leaders Liverpool to 6 points as after a 3-1 win at Brentford on Wednesday. Runners-up to Manchester City for the last two seasons, Arsenal are unbeaten in 12 games in all competitions, a run that includes 4 successive wins. Arsenal did not lose a single one of their 10 League London derbies in 2024, and they maintained their impressive record in capital clashes after surviving an early blow.
Dear viewers, this brings us to the end of this English News Bulletin on Channel 2. That was Reem Tamer along with Lubna Yahya. Thank you, Lubna.
Thank you, Reem, and thank you, everyone, and have a good afternoon.